So Query Builder is a tool within a system. It is a reporting platform that lets you search, filter, or extract the specific data without needing the technical or coding skill. Now, where is a Query Builder? So that icon is sitting into the Tools tab. You click on the Tools tab, and this is your Query Builder. You can right-click this icon and add into a quick access toolbar. So this is your shortcut now. So, and if you don't see the Query Builder icon into Tools tab, that is actually not a very difficult thing. You can just ask the person who looks after the Medtech Evolution setup in your practice, and that person will be able to give you access to the Query Builder. Now, I'm clicking once to the Query Builder to open the screen. As you can see, we have got here names. So every Query Builder you have to give a name to your queries, like a list of enrolled patient or list of the patient about 65, whatever your query you're building the query upon, you have to give the name according to that. We have got two boxes here, which is called the where box and select box. The where box is where you ask the questions. It is a criteria, like what am I looking for, or what I want to achieve with my query build. Then we have got a select box. Now this select box, it will have fields added to it that I want as an output of this query build. Like, what do I want to know about my enrolled patient? Do I want their name, surname, their more details, NHI, or any other details? If I want, that field needs to be added into the select box. We have got here table written there. Now, there's a list of table you can see. Now, in each table, there's a various selection where you can pull your data from. I'm just going to click and show you. Yeah. So it means that all your data, what you entered in your Medtech Evolution, is actually from these tables. For example, the patient information that you add into the patient register, it is from the patient table. Similarly, the screening information is from the measurement table. Classification information, the read codes, is from the classification table. All the medication information is from the prescription table. Like that, we have got here as a no recalls, as well as no prescriptions, no classification, no recalls. We have got plenty of tables which actually has the data what you enter into your Medtech Evolution. So if you know where the data is stored in Evolution that you're looking for, then it's simple to build a query. Now within these tables, we have got much more options now. These options are called the field. Now we are familiar with the basic of the query build screen. Let's start with some examples of the query build. So I'll start with a simple example of query building, like account query. Like I want to know the number of enrolled patient in my database. So to begin with, I'll give a name to the query. Number of enrolled patient. Now, in this case, what I want in my where box. So I want to find the number of all enrolled patient. So making sure that my cursor is in the patient table. I want to find all the patients whose enrollment status code is confirmed enrollment. So this is my criteria. I'm going to just, now you want to, instead of searching the whole lot, where is enrollment status code, you just click anywhere on the screen here and type enroll. I just typed ENROL, and automatically you can see the field is got highlighted. Just enrollment status code, you just add it to the where box. Yeah. Now, the moment you add this one into enrollment status code into the where box, you can see that there's a condition undefined. Now, this is because if you think of the enrollment status code in the patient register, we have few drop-down options to choose. Like, I'm just going to click on this one just to show you. Here you go, like confirmed enrollment, decline to enroll, newborn, and unenrolled. This is something what you always see when you're doing the enrollment in your patient register. Now, you have to define the condition on the selected field by clicking C. So either you can double click here, you can double click this one, or you can simply click on the C and it will open up the query builder condition window for you. You can see here the condition and you can see here the values. Now, values are the same what you see into your patient register. There are various conditions. My present query is about the number of enrolled patient. So I'm going to have a condition equal to. Equal to means is exact match. Equal to confirmed enrollment. And you click OK. This is what it looks like. Now let's look at what are the other conditions we can use. So I'm going to click back again on condition just to go through with you the different conditions. Now, for instance, if I want to add more than one value, the conditions which I'm going to use it here is called N. And the moment I select the condition N, I get the tick boxes. I can just tick the box as much as I wanted and click OK. So now this is going to give me the all number of patient whose enrollment status code is confirmed enrollment as well as newborn preliminary enrollment. Yeah. Next is I'm going to go condition as a not in. And if I keep the tick box same as before, it's going to give me result exactly opposite to what it was before. Next condition is blank. Now this will actually give me all patients whose enrollment status code is left blank. And if I select is not blank, this is going to give me the list of all the patients who has got some entry into their enrollment status code. Now saying that, let's go back to our query is equal to, and the value is confirmed enrollment, okay. Now, for the count query, in the select box, I will require the one very specific field, and that is called count function count occurrence. Because we are doing the count query, that field is very important. Now, count function is located at the end of the table, the very last one. You can click on the plus icon on the count function, count occurrence, and add this field to the select box. Now, once you do that, you can run the query here. And now you can see I've got 26 patients in my data who are confirmed enrolled. So if you just want to know the number of patients with the different criteria selected in your where box, this is how you build the query. The count function count occurrence is the must field when you're doing the count query. Now, next part is you already created the query build. You need to save this query. You simply click on the save query here. Now, say you are new to the query building and you want to create your folder because you don't want to save in any of this folder. Click on the action, new folder, type your name, and click OK. Now, this is where you click and OK. You will get this information message window saying the query has been saved as number of enrolled patient. I'll go back and show you where your query is saved now. You click on the query store and you can see now here, this is where you saved your query. Okay. Next, let's move on to the next query. Again, as I said, we have to give a name to the new query. So I'm just going to click on the new query and just let's give a name. So if you want to extract the data of a number of enrolled patient with their age range and the assigned sex recorded into your database. So as you can see, what I want into my output is an assigned sex and age range. Now this is again, I'm looking for the number of patients, so it's a count query as well. So let's name the query first. I have got number of enrolled patient with assigned sex and age range. Now, my criteria is still the same. I'm talking about my enrollment patients. So going to click here back again, type the enrollment, and the field gets highlighted, and add this field into the where box. Double click the condition equal to confirmed enrollment. So I'm still sticking the same criteria. In my select box as an output, I want patient assigned sex and the age range. So in the patient table, you click anywhere here and type assign, and you can see the field gets highlighted, add it into the select box. Now age range, it's related to the date of birth. So if you just type DOB, you see that field get highlighted, and somewhere here down we got a date of birth age range. Add it into the select box. Now since we are again looking for the number, so count function, count occurrence is must. You can add into your query, into the select box. And now you can run the query. So when the count function is chosen from the table and there is 2 or less than 2 field values is in the select section, the query builder enables 2 more views, spreadsheet view and the chart view. You can see the datasheet view tells you that we got 1 male at the age of 5 age, 2 females between the age of 6 to 14. Now I'm going to click on the spreadsheet view. You can see a lovely spreadsheet of it. In my database, I have got 10 females with a different age range, 14 males with a different age range, 2 recorded as unknown, and the total, the spreadsheet view also gives you the total number of enrolled patients. I can also look at a chart view. You can see the beautiful colored chart view. Different age range has been colored differently. That is your x-axis and y. If you think of your mathematics, we got a females, male, and unknown, and you can actually go see as a pie view as well. Here you can have we have got the 53.85% male as compared to 38.46 female and 7.69% or 2 recorded as unknown assigned sex in my database. I can also switch over the data by clicking on this way. And now you can see the age range with the different assigned sex into it. You can print this view, or you can save this view for your presentation at a later stage. I'm jumping back to the designer view from here. So this is called the chart view, where you can actually have a designer chart onto it. Now, same thing you do for this query as well. You want to save this query, you can click on the Save Query, go to your folder and click OK. And your query has been saved. Now, let's move to the few more examples. Next query which I have in my mind is a list of all enrolled patients. So here I would like to have a list of all my enrolled patients. I want to know their name, surname, date of birth, and other demographic details, which means that I need to add more fields into my select box. Now, I'm keeping the criteria same as before. Enrollment status equal to enrolled patients. Now let's have a new query. So new query, and now it is, I'm going to have a list of enrolled patient. My criteria is still the same. So I'm going to add that enrollment status code, add it into the where box, and the condition is still the same as a confirmed enrollment. Here you go. Now, I want to have more details of my patients, like I want to have their surname, first name. You just keep going selecting the field and go on using the arrow to add the field into the select box. I want the patient's NHI number, so I can just click here anywhere and just type NHI. The field get highlighted, move it to the select box. Then I want date of birth, move to the select box. You can just add whatever information you want in your output. Yeah, you can move this up and down as well. If you want date of birth before NHI, you can just use the arrow to move it up, or you want NHI to be before date of birth, you can just change it accordingly. And you can run the query. Now, as you can see, you got the patient's last name, first name, and NHI date of birth. You can ask the question, why am I not using it full name, and instead I'm using it name and surname? Now, this is totally up to you. Full name is actually including the title. So in your output, you will have Mr., Mrs., or whatever the title is entered in the patient register. So some patient may have no title recorded into their data. So by selecting the surname, I will also be able to pull out data by clicking alphabetically by clicking on output data in order specified above. And now once I tick this one, run the query, you can see that I got my list alphabetical here. You can export this into your into the Excel. So you can click on the export and you can save to the disk. You can save to the folder, to a secure folder wherever you have access to. Now remember that since this query builder has the ability to export data, then a practice should ensure that only those users who require access to query builder have access via role-based access control, and that they remove it from anyone that does not need to use it. So make sure that you're exporting your query build and saving it into the most secure folder of yours. Now, when I'm on the when I'm on the datasheet view, you can see that we have got few more functions, merge SMS and the arrow which is pointing upward, they are grayed out. Now to activate these icons, we need to add a field in the output that is called ID for merge. So I'm going to go to designer view. We have to add ID for merge into the select. So I'm just going to click here and just type ID and the field automatically gets highlighted. You can add ID for merge into the select field and you can run the query once again. What this does is it adds the MMID column here. The MMID is actually Medtech specific patient identification number into your output. So activating all these gray ones. The SMS is still gray, that I'll explain. I'll go through with you in my next query build. So how does this benefits you? This green arrow will allow you to bring the patient's name on the palette from the query build screen. So I'll just show you now. Right. Say, for example, I want to know about this patient, why this patient is, his name has come up in my query build. I can just highlight this patient and click on the arrow which is pointing upward. And now you can see the patient's name has come on the you can select the patient's name here. This actually quite helpful icon because because otherwise if you don't have ID for merge, you will go and search the patient's name, type the patient's name, bring on the palette. It's quite a lot of work. Now, merge field. Now we got the function now, we got to understand what this arrow means. Let's look at the merge. Merge will allow you to add the recall into the list of the patient. I'll just show you here. You can actually add the recalls in the list of the patient. Now, what type of patient we need to add the recalls like that? So, since the flu season is around the corner, let's have an example, and build a query. Say, for example, you want to build a query on your all enrolled patient with the age 65 and above with no recall of flu vaccine for the year 2026. So our criteria is changing here. I have already created that query in advance so that it shouldn't take a long time. Here you go. Sorry, I'm just going to go back and get the query here. Okay. Now, I'll go through each criteria, what I selected one by one. So the first criteria I went is patient enrollment status equal to confirmed enrollment. I already went through 3 times about it, so it's quite familiar. Second criteria we want is patient's age greater than equal to or greater than 65. So basically, I just clicked here, type the date of birth, scroll down, went to the age, and add it into the where column. After adding in where column, I went to the conditions. There's a various condition here, but the most appropriate condition for this particular query is greater than or equal to, and you can manually write 65 and click OK. Next is I want the list of patient who has no recall of flu vaccines, right, for the year 2026. So now I want in my criteria where it says no recall from the no recall table. So I'm minimizing my patient table, and now I'm going to go with the no recall table. Here you go. From here, I just added date of recalls. I added into the where box, and I double click open, and I wrote it from today. So you can do from the 1st of the January 2026. So any recalls you want to capture it, you want to capture all the patients who has no recall of the flu vaccine recorded for this year. So you can easily put, instead of 28 January, you can just put 1st of January and click OK. Next is I'm looking at type of recall. So add this one, and this is actually equal to vaccine. Then recall code. So we are capturing the list of the patient who are 65 and above is missing out the recall code as a flu 65. So recall code, I added it into the where box, and the condition, double click, equal to, we got all the vaccines details here. I selected flu 65 and clicked OK. So we have completed our criteria. Now, what output do you want to see? So patient's surname, name, NHI number, date of birth. You can actually change it or add it more, depends upon what exactly do you want. Say, for example, you want patient's phone number as well because you want to contact them too in your list. So you go to the patient table, type phone, click on the cell phone, and add into your select box. You can run the query now. So I got the 5 patients here who are 65 and above, and they do not have the flu vaccines into their recall. So I'll just show you the example. I'm going to bring just one patient on the palette. And I'm going to look at this patient's recall. Here you go. So this patient does not have a recall for the flu vaccines, and that's what we want to add on to it. Right. So going back to my query again. So it's confirmed that this, and you can check each patient just for your peace of mind if you want to. But once you're confirmed, then you can go to the merge here, click on the patient recall. You can have a type of recall. You can have a code here. Now, generally the flu recall is nurse, they look after this particular recall. So basically you can just add your practice nurse name here, or if you got a provider name as a nurse, you can just add that as well. You can spread the recalls over the different dates. For example, the flu recall, you want to spread it over from 1st of March to 31st of March. You can just put the date here so that all the recalls are not falling on the same date. 31st March, and I'm going to click OK here. I just put my nurse here and click OK. So patient's recall is updated, yeah? So if I bring my patient's name on the palette, recall's gone, here you go. And looking at the patient's recall. Did I really did the recalls added onto it here? You can have for the 2 months range between 1st of March to 30th of April. It's absolutely your choice how you would like to do that. You can spread over the months and you can click OK. Right here. Next, I'm going to jump back with, so once you create this particular query build, you must save again the query build into your folder, which is, I think I already saved it here, but if I want to save it into test, I can just save it this one. Here you go. Right. So while you got this, we are on this screen, you can also see we have got here 2 more functions called import query and export query. Generally, what happens is when PHO has got some query built, they always like to have the same query built into all other practices. So they can actually export the query from here by clicking on the export query and save into the secure folder. I have created a folder called Query Builder and save it here. Once they save the query build, they can basically email those query build to the receiving practices. The receiving practices, what they have to do is once they receive the query build into their email, they have to save it to a secure folder before they could import it. So they could just go to the import, go to their folder, and click on the query build they want to import and click open, and then save the query build into the required folder. So see, if somebody has created a very nice query build, which is quite useful, and you want to share it with the other practices, you can just do export to them, and the other practices can import those query build and save into their list. While we are on this topic here, on the query store, as you can see, I have been testing a lot, so I've got quite a few query build with basically for the practice purpose. If you have like this, like mine, you can actually go and delete the one you don't want it. So you can click onto it, and if this query build is just sitting there with no results, you can modify it, or you can simply delete it and clean your list. If you got a staff who has left the practice and you love the query build, what the staff has it, you can actually, before you take the name off and delete all the queries, check out the queries which is useful to you, and you can just simply drag it and drop it. You can add that queries into your list. A bit of a tidy up which you can do in your own sweet time. Yep. There's one function still we haven't spoken, is called the SMS query, right? So let's go with the SMS query. So query builder can be used to generate the bulk SMS messages to the selected group of patient. However, for this, you have to have the Medtech SMS system integrated into your Medtech. The two functions, which is quite important into the where box, is okay, let me just start from the beginning as a new. I'm just going to pull out the query what we did prior to this, the one with the flu vaccine. And I can just continue showing you on this one. So the two important field which is must into the where box is the patient's cell phone number. So we are looking for the patient's cell phone and add into the where box. In the condition undefined, we want is not blank. We don't want to capture the patient's name, with the no phone number. Now, it's a good idea to also add it, which says here no SMS, into the where box. And the condition for this is not ticked 0. It's to exclude any patient who have indicated that they do not wish to receive the SMS message. Also, it's a good idea to add one more field into it. It's called, okay, just give me a minute. Let me go to the patient here. Okay, so it has decided not to work with me. Give me 1 minute. So not sure why it wasn't working. So I'm looking for the patient as one. And add this field into the where box. Now, this will actually select all enrolled patient, even if they are not the account holder. Right. In the select box, there's two important feature is must into the select box. Because we are running the SMS query, we need the patient's phone number here. So here you go, cell phone number, and I'm adding this here. I'm going to just bring the ID for much little bit down. And I added twice cell phone number, I can remove one away. So as you can see, I have added all the patients whose mobile number place is not blank. That means everyone has got the mobile number there. And also I have included the patient who has been not requested for no SMS. So all the patients have been added onto it. Now I'm going to run the SMS query. So you must have seen that I got the same result as my previous query because I picked up the same query as before, which is like a list of the 65 plus patient with no flu 65 vaccine recall into it. So this is my output for my SMS query. Now, in the output result, it is necessary to identify the field which contains the mobile number. So to do this, I would just right click here and I can say set column as the mobile number. Once you have done that, you right click and select all. And now you can create the SMS. You can compose SMS. Now, you can use the SMS, which is one of the template, which is already into your database. You want to use it, or you can just create the new template if you want to, and you click OK. This will actually send the SMS message to all your patients who are into this list. So consider this looks like to me the end of the webinar. I have covered all the topic. Yes, I will do share a few tips and tricks here. Few important features which already we went through. Number one is ID for merge field. Now this field is whenever you want the access ability to bring the patient's name on the pallet, the ID for merge is very essential. As you can see, the patient written there. So this particular field is into the patient table. The second thing is whenever you are doing the count function, like you're doing the count query, you want the number, you do not want the list like name of the patient, but you just want the count. You always make sure that you are having the count function count occurrence into the select field. Now, the value drop down, which you normally get it here. Sorry, this is a wrong example. So here, value drop down. It is totally based on the field what you select. So different field, you have a different value drop down. This all pulls out from your data what you have entered into your Medtech Evolution. There's quite a query comes then when you're looking at equal to. So equal to is an exact match. And if you select within, quite often it is used for the when you're looking at the classification of a patient. Within will give you the option to choose from the different values. You can just tick box those ones, and you can have more values. You can have a tick box and have more values. When you select within, let's give an example of a classification read code as a diabetic. So if you choose within and you put the diabetic mellitus, which is basically the main read code of the diabetic, it will capture all the patient with different diabetic classification, like a non-insulin diabetic or the insulin diabetic. It will capture all the patients list. But if you put equal to, then it will only capture those patients who has got specific classification into it. So it totally depends upon what field you select into the where box, you're going to get the different values. So saying that, this pretty much brings us to the end of the webinar. So Prachi and I will now review the questions that have been asked. And let's see, I'm just going to look at the questions and see if there is anything there.